In January 2023, my family and I took a 5-day vacation through the Gulf of Mexico in celebration of my father's 52nd birthday. There were thrills, chills, and even emotional moments as we sailed our way from Galveston, Texas to Cozumel, Mexico. So join the Cady family as we look back at this exciting excursion. This is the Cady Cruise Vlog. Well, hello there. It's your boy, Trey Cady.
And Ryan.
I got Ryan here, and it is currently almost 7 a.m. and we are about to embark on Carnival Cruise. I have not been up at this hour since high school, so I feel pretty mediocre. But we got a 3-hour drive ahead of us. This is gonna be great. Let's go.
I'm gonna go get frog legs.
After 4 hours in the car and a quick stop at Buc-ee's, we finally arrived in Galveston, with everyone ready to stretch their legs and make their way to the cruise. We grabbed our bags and began walking, and this was the first time I'd ever been on a cruise ship, let alone seen one in person, so I was pretty excited. Seeing this massive ship peer out from behind the surrounding buildings was truly a sight to behold. My excitement soon turned to misery, however, as we waited to actually board the ship. I'm usually very patient when it comes to lines, but I was sweating my butt off carrying 3 12-packs of soda in a bag. You can tell by my face here, I was absolutely done with this ship. Thankfully, we made our way through the terminal rather quickly, and before long, we were finally aboard the cruise.
If this boat sinks,
Maybe not say that.
Money claw game.
Are they even old enough?
Yeah, you only have to be 18. Yeah, and we can go to the club. And we can go play bingo. I looked it up.
Bingo.
My initial impressions upon reaching the deck is that it was very lively. It was really loud with everyone talking and a woman playing a steel drum over these massive speakers. You could feel the excitement of those who had traveled hours, even days, to be here. We had some time to kill before we could enter our room, so I decided to explore the various food offerings they had on the deck. There was the Blue Iguana, a very delicious taco stand, and a Guy Fieri's burger joint, which also hit the spot, but I was very caught off guard. I was not expecting to see that. We got some tacos, we got chicken, pork, and fish. 3 hours after we had boarded, the Carnival breeze finally began moving out of the port and sailing out into the Gulf of Mexico. Seeing the buildings of Galveston leave my view as we sailed forward filled me with a special sense of excitement of the days to come. At 6 p.m. we made our way to the dining hall. The interior decor was beautiful, honestly felt like a 5-star restaurant.
Yeah. How do I not feel it? It feels like...
We're not on the freaking Titanic.
This first dinner was alright. Our table was at the very end of the ship, which meant we felt the full force of the ship's movements. So that, coupled with the storm we were sailing through at the time, I felt like I was going to throw up. For my first dinner, I had roasted tomato soup as an appetizer, a grilled lemon pepper salmon for the main course, and tiramisu for dessert. The highlight here was the tiramisu. It was so good. The tomato soup was good too, but I was let down by the salmon, unfortunately. I'm not trying to be a food critic here, but I've tasted much better salmon from my dad. But overall, the dinner service was great, especially our waitress, who was so nice throughout our entire stay. And the staff even put on short shows during most of the dinners. Here is a video of me casually eating tiramisu while everyone else dances to Bruno Mars.
Let me get a bite. Come on. You can't let. Let me get a bite. How are you gonna? You're a little fatty. Let me get a bite.
Following dinner, we all went our separate ways, and I decided to take the time to explore more of the ship. The casino was bustling with passengers, illuminated by the bright lights of large slot machines and smelling of cigarettes. Past it was a cafe area with live music and baked goods that looked amazing. I really regret not buying one. Other than that, there was not much other than bars, restaurants, and a nightclub on the floor that I was exploring, so I didn't spend much time there. And so, with the night growing ever so darker, I decided to head back to my room and call it a night, excited for my first full day at sea.
How was today?
It was okay.
Really? What was the best part?
Not being on this stupid interview.
What was the worst part?
Being on this interview.
Oh!
Kyle got complimented on his stash.
So good. Look at yours and look at mine. Mine's
I
thick.
am shaving mine.
Oh my god, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the?
The next day, I woke up at around 9:30 a.m. to find Brian and Dad playing ping pong before breakfast. I'm good. I made my way to the food court and was immediately attracted to the make your own omelet bar. Breakfast was always delicious, and this morning I had an omelet, eggs benedict, some muffins, and some peanut butter toast. After breakfast, I went back to my room to find it all nice and clean, with a towel animal waiting at my bed. Room service left these every time they'd cleaned the room, and it was cute. Stayed in my room for a bit, watched some weird 80s movie, then stopped by my parents' den where we watched dolphins swim by.
Oh, look, there they are. You see them? They're like now going backwards this way. Oh my god, that was so gorgeous. So they were coming all this way. Hundreds of them.
Careful with your feng shui.
While waiting for the dining hall to open for dinner, we decided to check out the arcade that was close by. The decor was interesting, oddly had an industrial feel to it with the brick wallpaper and what I assume are supposed to look like giant ventilation fans. It was a neat little corner of the ship, featuring multiple claw machines, ticket games, and a Pac-Man themed air hockey table. The coolest game of them all, though, was this racing game that aggressively shook the chair as you raced through the streets. Like, whenever you would bump into a wall or something, you would feel the impact. It was really, really neat.
Yeah, does this freak you out? There's an animal here.
Does anyone have any more of what Mom, Kyle, and Anna have?
When it came time for dinner, I thankfully had a much better time than the night prior. The waves weren't nearly as bad, and I wasn't disappointed with the entree this time around. I had spaghetti carbonara. I mean, it was just cheese and bacon pasta. It was unhealthy, it was cheap, I don't care. It was delicious. And for dessert, I had vanilla creme brulee. I really enjoyed that pasta though, seriously. I was happy to find leftovers at the food court after dinner. which I promptly stocked up on. When Brian wasn't dancing with the waitress, he was smacking on a banana split, which looked delicious and adorable. The next morning, I woke up and had a short breakfast with Ryan and my parents. But it didn't last for long, as we had finally made it to Cozumel. Upon leaving the ship, we entered a beautiful square. I really loved the architecture here. We were surrounded by a bunch of cool bars, gift shops, and white people. Yeah, there were a lot of gringos here. I probably should have expected that, seeing as Cozumel is a tourist island off of the mainland Mexico, but I didn't know that. Ryan, are you excited?
That's a cool power, right?
Is this how it looks now?
No. It's a big shop.
What are you doing?
Excuse me, you're biting my butt.
After doing a little bit of window shopping, we boarded a shuttle and made our way to a beautiful beach resort. The resort was a lot of fun. Dad made a good call having us spend most of our time there. There was a lot of stuff for you to do.
Oh my god, right, look at
Whoa. Come on, let's catch up with the family.
this.
The one thing I have to point out is the water. This water was so beautiful. I don't think I'd ever been on a beach this beautiful before. It was so pristine and clear. I was told that it was going to look great, but I wasn't expecting it to look this amazing. Most of my time was spent in the water. Dad had rented out some snorkels and goggles for us to use, and I spent probably close to an hour in the water. It was so fun getting to see all of these exotic fish up close. I saw these long boys, a puffer fish. I even saw an iguana. After about 3 hours at the resort, it was time for us to take our leave. We got back on the shuttle and headed towards the ship. I was able to spend a little more time at the square, however, looking for a gift for Samantha. I wanted to spend a lot more time there, but Mom's anxiety got really bad. Even though I had a whole 2 hours before the ship departed, she was too worried about me getting left behind. So, after getting a delicious Oreo Frappuccino and Samantha's gift, I headed back onto the ship.
Come on, Mason, hurry, run.
Hey, I'm about to squeeze off in there.
Come on,
yeah. We got a lot of time. Squeeze real hard. Hey, you know what? You know what's good? Hey, look, we're all gonna go back and we're gonna after a while. Hey, look, we're about to go get hammered at the cruise ship. I know you're
I don't even know when we went to. Be careful.
Is this the cruise ship? It's two. Hey, guys, a great time, right? You bet, bud. Sounds like you had a better one. That's my man. That's my man.
If he doesn't know what floor we're at, there's a serious problem.
No, it's not. He's having a good time. Let the
Some
man
people aren't
party.
good with directions.
Let the man party.
She was leading the way. He'll be all right.
He'll be all right.
She'll dump him off somewhere soft.
Upon returning to my room, I decided to take a look at Samantha's gift, a nice red beautiful sundress, to complement my nice red beautiful sunburn. As I bided my time for dinner, I decided to walk around more of the ship. Dinner rolled around a few hours later, and it was good. I'm not going to go on again about every specific item, but this, you see this brownie? This is art. The highlight of tonight's dinner wasn't any of the food, but who we ended up seeing. Kyle had run into one of his favorite teachers back in middle school. They had both changed so much that Kyle didn't even recognize who she was at first. It was a very emotional moment, and just crazy that we ran into her in the Gulf of Mexico, of all places. It was incredible.
Would never forget Kyle. Let me tell you right now, would never forget Kyle. Definitely her favorite. He was my favorite. I hate to say it. I was just telling him. I remember he used to walk across the hall. He'd be like.
After dinner, Kyle and I decided to hit up the arcade, where I finally gave the racing game a go. Afterwards, we decided to go to the candy store, which was now open.
Thank you.
Overall, the rest of the night was very chill. Not much was going on, and Kyle and I decided to stay in our room and just watch television together. I was lounging like a king with my pizza, my cola. It was the best. And with that, the most eventful day of our trip had come to an end. But there's much more to come on day 4. The next morning was a very nice change of pace, as instead of having breakfast in the food court, we decided to have it in the restaurant this time, where it had so many different menu items you couldn't get elsewhere. After breakfast, most of my morning was actually spent at the water park. It was very fun. Me and Ryan got to play this game of zombie tag that initially started out with just me and him, but eventually just turned into this huge game with over 10 kids. I straight up stopped keeping track of most of them at that point. Come noon, there would be an ice sculptor at the deck, where a bunch of kids would have a chance at guessing what exactly he was sculpting, including Ryan.
An olive.
After playing at the water park, me and Ryan were drained. Ryan changed into his pajamas, and me and him relaxed in my room for a bit. We then decided to go get some food, where I found one of the many hidden ducks. In the afternoon, Kyle, Ryan, Dad, and myself decided to go and play some mini golf. Nice. And then there was dinner, our last supper, where finally the frog legs were here. We had traveled so far for these frog legs, and finally they were right in front of us. And what did we think? Everybody just kind of thought they were okay. I liked them, but everybody kind of seemed disappointed. How's the water, Kyle?
Great.
After dinner, we decided to go to the arcade one last time in search of rubber ducks. That is bull. Man. Oh, well, this one says prize every time. It was sad towards the end of the night, knowing that the next morning we'd wake up and there would be no vacationing, but instead, a 3-hour drive back to Kyle. I spent most of my time in the sauna. This was my favorite place. I needed to spend a good 2 hours here this night just to get the most out of it. It was amazing. It also gave me a lot of space to reflect. I stayed at the spa for a long time, only leaving a few minutes before it closed. And with that, I stopped by the lobby one more time to watch some live music, reflecting on how the vacation was about to come to an end.
Gonna eat my beef when I get
3. Once again, everyone, D4 and E3 is your time to shine.